DogWorks Radio is sponsored by Alaska Dog Works. Check out their website at alaskadogworks.com.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by First Paw Coffee Company, specializing in private label premium blend coffee. If you're serious about coffee, you should check it out. First Paw Coffee's passion is high-quality, small-batch roasted coffee. They take the extra time to taste and get everything perfect before they release new blends. They aim to bring you a cup of happiness each time you pour yourself some coffee. Find out more at ak.dog/free and enter for a chance to win some First Paw Coffee prizes, a book from our collection, and tote bag. One winner will be selected at random each month. That's ak.dog/free.
Hello and welcome, everybody. This is DogWorks Radio, and I am your host, Michele Forto. I'm also the lead trainer at Alaska Dogworks, and almost every day we get calls from potential clients asking how we can certify their dogs to be service dogs, therapy dogs, and emotional support dogs. Almost always, they interchange the type of dog that they need, and therein lies much of the problem. If you have been to an airport recently, undoubtedly you have seen many dogs. Some of these dogs are in strollers. Some are on leash. Some even have on muzzles. For some reason, everyone wants to take their dog on the plane. Today, we are going to talk about some new rules that are coming down the pipe that will change all of that.
From First Paw Media, sponsored by Alaska Dogworks Professional Canine Training Center in Anchorage, Alaska. This is DogWorks Radio, committed to families and their dogs to build lifelong and fulfilling relationships. Visit our website at dogworksradio.com. Now here are your hosts, Robert and Michele Forto.
I have been a service dog trainer for more than 20 years. Along with the many dogs that I have trained to help make folks more independent that suffer from mobility issues, kids with autism, post-traumatic stress disorder for our soldiers, and psychiatric issues, I have also been asked hundreds of times if I will just sign off on a dog so that they can travel with them on the plane. One day, when we had our training center in Denver, a lady came into our office and asked about service dog training as she pulled out a little dog from under her shirt and asked us to certify it so they could travel to Hawaii the next day. Recently, there was much a buzz about some new rules that may be implemented. I will read the article here and then I will discuss it. The United States Transportation Department unveiled a series of proposed new rules aimed at cracking down on the types of service animals that passengers can bring with them when they fly. Currently, there is confusion over what constitutes a service animal, and many people claim their pets, including mice, cats, pigs, and in one case, even a peacock, are service animals. Under the current system, passengers must fill out paperwork ahead of time and have a doctor's note saying their pet is an emotional support animal. While service animals are supposed to be highly trained to assist their owners with a specific disability, there is no formal training for emotional support animals. In addition, it is relatively simple to go online and get your pet certified, even if they lack the proper training. Many airlines have lobbied the government to strengthen the rules after they have been forced to waive their pet fees for a growing number of passengers who claim their pets are emotional support animals. In addition to the lost fees, airlines have complained that many of the animals are not trained and have created a nightmare for crew members and other passengers. Under the updated rules, the new definition of service animals would only include dogs that are trained to help a person with a physical or other disability. Airlines want all passengers and crew to have a safe and comfortable flying experience, and we are confident the proposed rule will go a long way in ensuring a safer and healthier experience for everyone, said Nicholas Callio, president of Airlines for America. The public will have 60 days to comment on the proposed changes. After the break, we will discuss all of this.
So earlier you learned about First Paw Coffee Company, and now I'm going to tell you about its Tail Wagger Blend. First Paw Coffee Company's Tail Wagger Blend is their first offering, and its name and label were crowdsourced from their Facebook fans. How cool is that? The Tail Wagger Blend is a private label premium blend that was developed just for them. It is a medium roast from Colombian beans with tastes of Brazil nuts, grapefruit, and oak. Be sure to go to ak.dog/free and enter to win a bunch of cool prizes. That's ak.dog/free.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in. We are discussing the new rules for service dogs on planes. And as I mentioned ahead of the First Paw spot, we're going to discuss some of those proposed changes that the public will have 60 days to comment on. So here's my take on it. I have always been a proponent for people that have or need service dogs. At the same time, I am a proponent for a service dog to be professionally and properly trained to meet the needs of not only that person's disability, but to meet certain requirements in public places. This is where everything kind of falls apart as far as the Americans with Disabilities Act goes, as far as the difference between an emotional support animal and a service dog goes. A service dog is highly trained to meet the needs of the person that it is working for, but it is also highly trained to deal with public spaces. That includes airlines. We posted this topic on our Facebook page, and I will go through some of the comments and address them here. So the consensus for this topic on our Facebook page is pretty much that everybody thinks that it's about time, that the rules have become too lax, the system is broken, anybody can get a service dog vest, so on and so forth. So some of those things are pretty extreme and unfortunately very true. You can just go online and get a service vest, as Julie Garino points out. And like Sarah Shute says, this needs to happen to protect trained and certified service dogs and those that honestly need those working dogs. Absolutely correct. And she goes on to say the rise of emotional support animals of all kinds and the negative situations untrained animals are put in public places is causing transportation authorities to not trust service dogs. That is true, Sarah. They are coming to a point where they can't trust not only the service dogs, but the people that are passing off these non-trained pets and dogs as their emotional support animals. Here's something else, you guys. It's become very costly to travel with your pet. You know, it costs you a crate or a proper container to put your pet in to travel with it. And a lot of airlines won't fly exotic animals like peacocks. They will no longer fly short-nosed dogs and certain specific breeds. So what's happening is people don't want to, number one, pay for their dog to be flown in cargo. Number two, they think that that's inhumane. Number three, they don't want to pay proper boarding fees for their pets in the city that they live in. And number four, some of those pets have nowhere to be boarded. So therein lies some of the issues right off the bat that then get accentuated because people go, well, I'll just call it emotional support animal and my pet can come with me. My next question is, what do you do with that pet on the beach in Key West? It's not necessarily appropriate for your pet to go with you everywhere you go. This is what we recommend: the need for a mandatory and recognizable certification. We have been certified evaluators for the American Kennel Club's Canine Good Citizen program for years. It is a test that tests whether a dog will be well behaved in public and around strangers and other dogs. The beauty of the CGC test is that it is an independent test, meaning that I am not supposed to test a dog that I have trained. Another evaluator is supposed to test the dog. Checks and balances, if you will. Many service dog companies use the CGC test as a part of their program. Something like this could be developed for service dog certification, something that we have advocated for years. A recognizable certification card that we call a service dog driver's license could be issued, which would be much more like your own driver's license with watermarks, pictures, etc., and a renewal date too. This alone would go a long way in combating the fake service dog epidemic. People contact my business on a daily basis asking me to certify their dog for a multitude of reasons. When I explain the process of how a service dog is trained, the time commitment of 2 years minimum of training, and ask them for specifics as to what they need the dog to do for them, most cannot give me an answer. When I explain that I require a doctor's note, I get excuses or I am told they will get it. Then, when I explain the cost of my training fees to get their dog or a dog I choose for them to perform the highly skilled tasks, most do not go to the next step and fill out the application. Some do, and then after a year of training, come up with a reason to no longer need my services. If dog trainers demand to be treated as professionals and are offering a professional service and expect to be taken seriously by the public, then we need to demand a national regulation and requirement for service dogs and the training required to carry that title. Service dogs are working animals, not fur babies or little humans. What do you think of the new rules? Let us know on our social channels. Just search DogWorks Radio. As always, you can find out more about us at alaskadogworks.com.
This episode of the podcast is sponsored by First Paw Coffee Company. Learn more at firstpaw.coffee.
From First Paw Media, this is DogWorks Radio. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we invite you to subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. You'll find a link on the episode notes. You can tap or swipe on the episode cover art, and you'll see some offers from our sponsors. You can support our show by supporting them. If you like what you have heard, we would love it if you could give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe too. Your hosts are Robert and Michele Forto. Our producer is Robert Forto and created for First Paw Media. Did you know that Alaska Dogworks trains service dogs for those in need throughout North America? Each and every service dog that is trained through the Lead Dog Service Dog Program and Michele Forto and her team has an individual training plan. We train for autistic, mobility, psychiatric, and PTSD for our soldiers for service work. If you know of someone that may need a service dog, please take a moment and check out Alaska Dogworks on social media and at alaskadogworks.com.